Hello and welcome back to episode 7 of Somerset Survival. Yesterday, hopefully you've seen the episode, we did a little bit of a disaster day, but we recovered in the end. We did manage to get ourselves a nice water tanker, top up the greenhouse, and it has overnight produced us another pallet, so that's what I was kind of hoping for. That's what I was banking for, so that's brilliant. And to be honest, it isn't far off producing the fourth one, so I was hoping we would have 4 to take with us, and it certainly looks like that might happen. Now, you may notice straight away it's doing the flickering, and it definitely seems to be something. I'm not sure whether it's the most recent patch from Giants themselves, but it's kind of brought back all of the original issues. So back in the first week of playing it, this was happening quite a lot, and it just seems to be it's trying to transition between like standard grass and the like frosted look, and it's just taken a while to load it. Now, if it's like it was originally, eventually that will load properly and it will stop doing it. You can see the trees there that kind of switching between the two environments. So I think eventually that should fix itself. Hopefully that doesn't cause too much of an issue if we do any time lapses today. I think this will be an episode where I try and avoid them as much as possible, just so it's not kind of making people's eyes go a little bit funny. So anyway, 2,394. So it looks like it's about 210, 212 pounds per night for property maintenance. So at least we know currently roughly what that is. I really like how it's the snow effect on all the fences and things. That's pretty good. So yeah, it gives us a rough idea of what we're going to lose every day. Now, what have we got there? 230 pieces, so even better. That's going up now as well. Is it just the 16 chickens still? Oh no, look, 24. So, yeah. Apparently, again, thanks to Marcus, you're kind of my personal advisor at the minute, but in the game you don't actually need to have a rooster to breed chickens. So we'll just keep him there for show. He helps us wake up in the mornings. So yeah, apparently not. Anyway, which is unusual. You would assume that you would need to have one of them to help the chickens along with their breeding, but there we go. Harvester. So I think that needs to be the plan today. So I'm going to start with jumping into a menu, going to the harvesters, and just figuring out what we need. So we're not in a position where we can do anything other than this. So it is just the way it's got to be. Now, I've never used it. I'm just put off by it because I've seen other people use it. But we will give it a go. Certainly only this year, so this will be the only time that we use it, I think, on this field. By the time we're ready to harvest again, we should be able to afford that next one up at 12,000. But 1,950, and I'm assuming the header is a separate one in the mod folder. Oh, it's right there, look. Oh, that's great. So there's only 300. So to be honest, we can just about afford that already. Yeah, certainly pretty old school. So we can actually afford that already. So I think what we need to do is think about doing that, because I should have checked when we were just in here, but these little guys here are going to run out, I'm pretty sure. 111 litres of food left, so it will get us through the day, but I would imagine by the next game day that's going to be empty. And how much it is for a big bag, we may as well spend that money on that harvester, even if we only get a percentage of it done. So that's certainly an objective of today. I wonder if we should get on planning that straight away, or let's just have a look and see what the lettuce goes for. So pretty good. Look, it is definitely the water that goes down the quickest, which is great. So that initial expense on seeds and the solid fertilizer bags, which I didn't buy many of, by the way, seems to last quite a while. So we've just got to keep an eye on that water. So what am I looking for again? That's it. I'm looking for the prices. So I don't think it's worth selling the eggs. We might as well let them build up a little bit more anyway. And we'll just sell them once we've at least got a pallet or two. For the lettuce, so 3,297, which is pretty much, I mean, it's just a little bit under what it says the max is, and it is going down. But I don't want to make that trip until we have that additional pallet. So currently 397 litres, and it seems to generate them at 500, so that is not going to be very long at all. And to be honest, the hand there, as you can see, is red. Realistically, again, you know, I like to try and play it realistically. If I had to load these up and I was desperate for money, you just load them up a crate at a time. You know, this isn't the sort of thing like a pallet of flour, which is all shrink wrapped together. This is the kind of thing you would load into anything. So I am just going to super strength them into the back of the van, because that's just what you would do. I don't think I would use a front loader or a forklift to load some lettuce up into a van, so that's what we'll do. But while it's generating that last pallet, let's pop onto this one. We'll park up our water tanker into the yard area. I think it's going to be amazing how quick we start to fill these sheds up, you know. Definitely. What we will do, we'll get that harvester, and we are just going to dump all of the grain onto the ground there in the corner. So the corner there to the left of us, which is near the nearest corner to the chickens, we're just going to pile it all up there, and then just use the wheelbarrow just to keep the chickens topped up. I think that would be fun. I think that's quite realistic, and it is something that will get us through until eventually we can afford things like telehandlers and things. So we're going to head to the shop, and we're going to head up to the left here. I'm going to have a look and see whether that kind of hidden bag in the ground has managed to fix itself, or whether or not we are stuck behind a traffic jam. So let's just find out there a moment. I do think if it hasn't fixed itself, I wonder if I was to go into construction and just raise the ground level slightly, I wonder if it would cause it to pop up, or at the very least cause it to go under the map properly, so at least we don't have those traffic jams always in the way. Yeah, it's still a problem there, look. We have got a small tractor so we can get between it, but I am just going to see if I can fix that. So I'll cut this bit out. I won't be a second. No, by the way, it did not fix it. So I completely leveled the ground out. I lowered it. You can probably see the new grass that I retextured after. It's doing that thing where, because there is an object in its way, it doesn't allow you to actually change the ground level, which is a bit annoying, because I thought I have got a mod that allows you to do that, but for some reason just around that bag it doesn't. I can see exactly where that bag is. In fact, let's not leave that running, because we have got fuel on high, so I can see where it was, and it was pretty much here. This was the only area that I could not level. So, oh, it's like the Holy Grail. There we go. Alright, oh that's good, because that's going to annoy me so much. I was thinking about restarting the map and just recreating exactly what we've done, but I'm glad I found it. So it did help in a way, unintentionally, but ideal. We'll obviously grab that on the way past at some point. We can't really carry it. I'm not going to risk carrying it again, because it potentially might glitch out onto the road. By the way, I do feel that again might have been something that was caused by that van, just because it doesn't always seem to strap stuff in properly even when you strap it. So another reason really, I'm slowly persuading myself, as much as I love it, I'm slowly persuading myself away from that Citroen van, and I have, like I mentioned last time, I found a good alternative. It's a Ford pickup truck. Just to keep the game challenging, I'll reduce, whenever we do buy it, I'll reduce its maintenance right down, so it's almost at the point of breaking down, so that we still have that imminent cost of repair due, just as part of the challenge, I guess. But it's a lot bigger and it's a lot better than the van we started with, so I'm not just going to do a straight swap. We're going to have to roleplay some sort of I don't know, like £5,000 part exchange kind of thing. But that's something we can look to at some point, because I really do, I've mentioned it before, but I really do like to have that's nice. I do like to have a truck or a car or some form of transport other than a tractor. I just think it's a good part of the game. So anyway, right, we're here. So let's just jump in. Let's get this awful harvester. Can't do any changes to it, but I wasn't going to anyway. £1,950. And we'll also get the header, which was 300, I think, right at the end. There we go. Unfolded or fold, what difference does that make? I wonder if one of those options makes it easier to use. I wonder. I mean, I need to have it unfolded, I guess, so that you can transport it. But then, although it's kind of in the ground, let's just leave them unfolded, see what happens. So, pretty much back down to nothing, which seems to be the theme of this game mode, I guess. But at least we can feed our chickens. Now, what's going on here? I can already tell there's something not right with this mod. Because I don't even know how we're going to pick it up. Now, I'm assuming that actually trails, does it? It looked like in the initial picture it was like a trailer, but I don't know. I'm not so sure. Let me just level it off a minute. Maybe not. Oh, I don't want to do that. Definitely didn't want to do that. At least it's level again now, though. Right. If we cannot drag this behind us, I have no idea how we're going to get this down one of those legs. I'm already thinking this was a mistake. We'll find out. I could have sworn in the picture it looked like it had some sort of bar, so maybe that just kind of randomly appears once you reverse up to it. Oh dear. Okay, rather than you watching me, I'm just going to struggle through. I won't be a second. Okay, I'm not so sure how this is going to go. But yeah, there's a very handy invisible transportation holder on top of this one, as you can tell. Just, you know, genuinely went up there. I definitely didn't lift it. But anyway, hopefully we've at least got a way of getting it back to the yard. I may have cheated a little bit. But I don't want to go too fast because I know what's going to happen. It's going to fly off around the corner. Although to be fair, it's not moving too much at the minute. Whilst connecting it up, I have to admit I didn't find as many issues as what I've seen other players play it. So potentially, I don't know whether or not it's a slightly different version, it's an updated version, or the issues only start happening once you start harvesting. But for a minute, actually, you know, it's quite easy to control. Even that kind of annoying sort of dolly or pivot point on it wasn't that bad. Now, I don't want to be doing things like that, though, do I? Okay, so you didn't see that. But yeah, anyway, it doesn't seem to have too many. Oh, I'll tell you what, it's very difficult to steer, and it does have a few kind of odd collisions which you can't actually see. So I'm just trying my best to persuade myself that it's going to be fine. But actually, I think even this little bump here is going to be a bit of a pain. Okay. No, not too bad. Not too bad. So yeah, I'm just trying to trick myself into believing it's going to be fine, but I really don't think it will be. Okay, right, so we're nearly here. You will notice the header is no longer on the back. Yeah, it didn't work out too great. In fact, it is currently at the minute underneath the road. So yeah, I don't think it's the map. I think it's just the various different mods and things that are causing all of these strange things to happen. But I may just have to reset that header and just go back to the shop and try again. But it's a bit annoying, it doesn't have a trailer. Whether or not it fits to a standard trailer, I'm not too sure, but I'm just going to jump off screen again a minute and just get this header back. Okay, great. So the header has miraculously appeared. I won't make a habit of doing stuff like that, but given that the mod is kind of so unpredictable, it was just easier. I don't want to spend a whole episode trying to move a harvester around the map. So in the whole time it's taken to do that, we still haven't quite generated that pallet of lettuce. However, it's at about 450 litres, so that is not going to take long at all. So we might as well just start this. I am quite excited to see what this harvester is actually like. Crop destruction is on, by the way, so the downside to this is we are going to lose a little bit of wheat as we're going, but that's just the way it is. Now, this doesn't seem to be the easiest thing in the world to connect together. Not at all. So let's just see if I can slowly get it a bit closer. I'm assuming this must be the right side because the wheel's on the other side. Yeah, I have to admit, I haven't even started harvesting yet and this thing's already getting on my nerves. Right, is this going to pull it in a bit closer, do you think? Close enough, come on. Okay, right. Let's try it again. How close have you got to get this damn thing? See if we can try again. Yeah, the header has got some very strange collisions on it. Definitely the fact that it just got stuck under the road, that definitely wasn't the map, that was definitely this header. Yeah, very strange. And it doesn't even want to connect. Oh, there we go. Right, we did just do a little trial run, and this tractor definitely does cause crop destruction. So let me try and position it without damaging too much more. So we've got the right hand side of the field. Right, let's get it started. Do I need to unfold it? It tells me to. Do I need to lower it? It tells me to, but it doesn't actually do anything. Right, here we go. So this is it. So our first, oh gosh, our first harvest may take all year. What was it hitting? So by the time we positioned this, we would have run over all of the crops. Okay, give me a second. So yes, my fellow YouTubers were absolutely correct, this thing is awful. It's now got me up the field ever so slightly, and it's decided to kind of turn me without me doing anything and get me completely stuck in the ground. So yeah, in fact I am still moving. So yep, they were right. I don't know why I didn't believe them. This is going to be a little bit of a nightmare. In fact, I cannot even move at all now. Brilliant. Okay. Well, that was, where's it going? It's sinking. It's quicksand. That was an experience. I've had enough of that for a minute. Let's just abandon that there. So, have we got the 4th pallet? Come on, because I don't want to go back. 495, great. Right, let's reverse this van up, and we'll move on to that in a minute. Because yeah, that harvester is very frustrating. I can get in and out of this vehicle now, by the way, without any problems. So I don't quite know what was happening in the last one, but we will continue to aim to swap this over. Not really a priority for the minute, although this is going to break down and we cannot maintain it. So in a minute it's just going to be sat in the corner of the yard, complete waste of time. But anyway, let's just start the engine. Let's get out. So yeah, like I said, you get the red hand, but this, in all fairness, this is just a standard thing. We are going to do this, definitely. I think it, you know, if we were realistically thinking of putting them on the roof, then that's not going to happen, by hand anyway. But certainly loading them into the back of a van, that's fine, and I am going to do it. Although we may only get 2 in. So it may be a couple of trips. Let's have a look. Although the collisions are that iffy on this van, it probably will work. Yes, it will. Right, so we'll just get that 4th one. There it is. And we'll take those up. The icy texture seems to have gone now. It seems to have thawed out a bit, which has stopped the majority of the flickering. And the trees no longer have leaves, which has also stopped the flickering. So I am pretty certain, I don't think it's my system. I think it is some sort of giant's thing. Hopefully they'll fix it like they did the first time round. Now, I mean, they are sticking out a little bit, but this may be one of its last jobs for us. Turn that super strength off before I throw the vehicle. I've already forgot where I put the sell point. Where did I put the sell point? Oh, I know where I put the sell point. Let's head up there without looking at the map. This should be another new area to explore, so I'm quite keen to do that. I'll do my best to get some decent drifts in on this journey. It's almost worth keeping the van just for its drifting ability, I think. We'll see how this goes. So the new area, I think it was the last episode that I built this area. A little bit too harsh there on the old handbrake. Yeah, I think it was the last episode. I don't think it was the beginning of this episode that I built it, but I built it up around here somewhere. That's more like it. See that? Feels a bit like I'm playing Forza or something. Ah, that collectible. Now we did say, you know, that collectible's just ruined my drifts, so that's a bit disappointing, but I better remove it just on my way through. I think it was up here. I remember seeing in construction mode all those houses, which is quite cool, by the way. I quite like maps with kind of little villages in them. One thing I noticed looking at the map is there don't actually seem to be any grass too much. Any grass fields built into the map, so I don't know if I just wasn't looking properly, but yeah, I didn't see any, which is a shame. Although we'll probably plough our own in, I would have thought, because it is nice to do grass at once in a while, and I absolutely intend on having as much as possible all forms of animals, different productions. No, I want to try and fill the map up. We won't play it for too long. So wow, look at that, £6,509. Now we are of course getting penalties because we haven't actually done any work, so the environmental score did reduce some of the value down, but we haven't even scanned our field. We don't know what kind of score we're getting. I haven't even looked to see what kind of fertilizer state the field that we just started harvesting is in, so that's something we are going to have to do. Now, unless something comes up in the shop second hand, I will just pay for the field data through the menu. Again, you know, realistically, I like to say that word a lot, but if you were a farmer, I would imagine you'd probably pay some form of contractor in to come in and do that work for you. So I can't imagine every farmer in the world owns a high-tech piece of kit which they can connect to their tractor to scan their ground. So that's what we will do. Let's head back. When we get back, I'll just check the discount section. I don't know if we've actually done that today. I might have done that. It is a bit of a habit, but it does also change throughout the day. So ideally, it would be nice if that harvester we want is half price in there. Oh, this isn't it. Right, so Sheila McFarlane is the highest bidder with 14,500. So that must be the new mod, which I've not actually tried yet. So we're going to have to, let's just park this back up. This is the field auction mod, and I'm curious to know how it works. Now, we're not going to be able to afford a field at 14 grand right now, but it would be great to start planning in and potentially owning a second field. I would quite like to get some grass going. Now, how do we know which field is up for auction? It doesn't change colour, and there's nothing I can see on there. Have we got a new tab on the side? No, doesn't look like it. Maybe there's a menu, maybe there's a hotkey that I haven't actually checked up on to load up a new menu. I'm not too sure. I'm just going to try and keep an eye out for the next notification and just see if it tells me the field number, because maybe you just buy it. I'm not too sure. In fact, actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just slow the time right down, and we'll jump into the hotkeys and just have a look. Tend to put the newer mods near the bottom. So is there a way that we load up a new menu? No, there doesn't seem to be. No, I can't be bothered to look anymore. If anyone is watching when this episode gets released, then you know how to do it. Give us a little message, that would be amazing, because I am curious. That's going to be one of the main things of this, I think, because we're going to be able to buy bits of land in various plots around the map, rather than having everything in one area. I like having to drive between fields and things. I just think that's quite fun. That's the way I like to play the game, really. So yeah, if you do know, if you've used it before and I'm missing something obvious, then just give us a message. I do, you know, I haven't got a huge following, I'm not going to lie, so I will reply to every single message, which I'll continue to try and do. But like I said before, add me on Discord. If you're interested, I will find out what that kind of randomly generated number is following on from the... Oh, that's interesting. Look at the markings that the harvester leaves. But yeah, no, I will find out what the digits are. I think you can have the same names on Discord from what I can gather, but it just lots of random digits to follow it, so that they're each different. But yeah, if you know, then let me know. That would be great. Now let's see if this has unstuck itself. Doesn't look like it's unstuck itself. So the tractor itself has unstuck itself, but the harvester doesn't seem to want to move. I don't know if that again is one of these irritating collisions on this, because it makes me jump over something, but there's nothing there. That's a little bit frustrating. I'm not 100% sure how we're going to do this, if I'm honest with you. How much do we have in the harvester though? 418 litres of wheat, so and it is weirdly dropping the straw right in the middle of the crop that you're driving over. Strange mod, very odd mod. Anyway, I'm going to continue to do this, but I will cut this because this is just going to be tedious. This is going to be awful. So I'll probably be a few minutes trying to figure out how I can get out of here. I doubt very much I'm going to do all of it. But yeah, leave it with me and I'll catch you again shortly. Okay, that was awful. So I've just had to detach from it just to try and get this tractor off of the field. It kind of sunk in so much it wouldn't come out. Now it's doing everything that I've seen on other YouTubers' videos, so I apologise I dealt with you, but this is actually awful. Now we're just gonna have to do it. We're just gonna have to ditch that header there because it won't move again. It seems to get going and then it just seems to, as you can tell by the neatness of my straw swaths, it just likes to get stopped and get stuck randomly and dig your tractor into the ground. So that's it. I've had enough of that for a minute with you. So we'll have to rethink what we're going to do about that. However, what we have got, provided it doesn't fall over, is 1,770 litres of wheat, which is amazing. So I'm just going to try and dump it into here. I've just realised, let's disconnect that. I put that water tanker in a difficult position, so let's just move that a minute. One thing I haven't done today is look to see whether or not we have any fertiliser contracts come in yet. So now that we're in February, it may have started to open up some of those contracts, which is great because that goes back to our original kind of income plan, just to top up the money. And it's quite nice actually to see, you know, episode 6, it's been quite a few episodes now, or episode 7 maybe are we on, but £7,293, and we've got a couple of things to show for it, so not too bad at all. Right, here we go. So what I'm thinking is we're going to have to pull into it, dump off the wheat and then drive back out again, because this doesn't like to reverse too great. Now, I'm really hoping it will let me dump it, and also I'm hoping that it won't start putting it on the wrong side of the kind of cement walls there, because that would be frustrating. So let's just unload here. Brilliant. Great, so it does dump it, which is good. So we just want a nice little pile of, wow, that emptied that out pretty quick. So a nice little pile of wheat there, which is great. So we're just gonna regularly top up the chickens using the wheelbarrow, which we will do in a moment. Let's see if we can get this thing parked up. See if I can do it in one. No. This is awful. This is absolutely awful. To the extent where actually I wonder if we're better off just selling this sooner rather than later while it's still got some form of value. It does always swing itself around to the side like that, by the way. That wasn't just my bad driving. But at least it's there. But yeah, I don't know. In the next episode or so, we're going to want to sell that, I think, while it's still worth something. Because I don't want to use that again. And we'll go back to the original plan of getting the self-propelled one at 17,000. I have no idea how we're going to move that. No idea. But it's generated some slightly abnormal but decent swaths of straw, which kind of gives us our next challenge, I guess, really. While we're here looking at it, let's have a quick look and see what kind of prices they go for on this this map. I'm getting a bit distracted. I'm just looking to see if there's fertilizer ones. Nope, there are not. Just give it a little refresh. Ploughing, sowing, supply and transport, harvesting, cultivating. So we're not going to do that. I was slightly tempted, but no, we're not going to do that. So what are these? 23,000 litres of canola gets you 69,000. That's not that much better than what you get selling it normally, is it? Surely. Anyway, right, go back to the prices. Straw, which tends to not be worth a great deal. But okay, so 144 per thousand. We have missed that, of course, already. In fact, it only goes down now, right through until November sort of time. November, December is obviously the best, but so we're not going to be doing a great deal with that at all now, to be honest with you. 144. I mean, even at its lowest price, you have to remember there isn't that much in it, to be honest with you. So 99 lowest, 104 at its best. Not very much of a difference. So that's something we need to look at. Cheap baler. Okay, brilliant. So we know what we're on. Potentially get rid of that harvester is going to be the next thing. Now, where did I put the wheelbarrow? There it is. So we're just going to finish the day off today by topping up the chickens' food with some of our freshly harvested wheat. Hopefully then they can continue to make us some eggs. Chickens are going up as well. We've got 24. The max for this thing is 40, so we can't rely on it too much. I do really like it though, and I really like the fact that it doesn't change the grass texture. So it keeps it looking quite natural, which is great. Even to the extent where I am tempted to put a second one in. Anyway, what does it want us to do? Start charging? Yeah. Okay, so I have to be careful because this likes to fall over. Let's open up. Tip it in. Always says that for some reason. Action cannot be performed here, but it does work. Okay, great. So we'll just drop this here. And I think that's it for today. So fantastic. So again, a bit more traction. We made a decent amount of money, probably our best earnings so far out of the lettuce. So that's certainly, although it's been a bit of a pain at points, that's certainly a good thing to go for. That is going to make us some money. We managed to, do something in that field, get stuck more than do anything else. But it's given us some reserve food there for the chickens, which again will keep us earning. And you know, we've made another purchase today, so it all seems to be going well so far. Yeah, probably consider what we're going to do with the rest of this field, and consider buying a baler is next thing on our agenda, top of our list. So thank you very much for watching. If you've got to the end, again, I really appreciate it. And yeah, fantastic. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.